Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Taco Tuesday edition, a wonderful Taco Tuesday edition of the Rundown. My name is Mike Piwowarski. I will be your host today, but I do not do this program by myself.
No, you do not, Michael. I am Craig DeLuz, coming at you from the left coast, behind the Iron Curtain, otherwise known as the Sierras, from the state better known as California.
California. Craig, you know what we did yesterday, and we forgot to let the people know today, and I think we should let them know that we've adjusted our air times here during the week. So we, for those of you that sat around that extra 3 or 4 hours yesterday waiting for us, this was not a technical glitch. It was just a mental glitch for failing to let you know that.
Yeah, exactly. So what we've done is we've changed our broadcast time. Normally we broadcast at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. But after doing some demographics and doing some research and whatnot, we decided, since this is a live show, we decided we wanted to be there when we had the greatest likelihood of, y'all tuning in. So we've altered our time a bit. Now we're going to be on at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. So let us know. Let us know if that works out for you. Let us know if you like it. Let us know if you prefer the earlier time, or hey, maybe you even prefer for us to be on a little bit later. Whatever it takes to get y'all to tune in or makes it easier for you, that is what we are here to do.
Because we are here for you. That's what we're here for.
Right.
We really are. We really are. So,
without
Craig, how was your day?
Without you, there's no us.
Well, exactly right. And without, without sleeves, there'd be no Craig shirt.
Oh, well, exactly. See, I'm embracing my inner Florida man right now. So I was like, look, I just got back from the gym and I decided I really am not going to bother. And you're wearing long enough sleeves for the both of us, Mike.
I am. This is my oh my God, it's how hot outside. I'm going to put a long sleeve shirt on so I feel cooler. Shirt.
Well, this is my sleeveless 5'11". I just got back from the gym shirt. So I'm kind of funky. Luckily, this is not smell-o-vision, but it's all good because we're having a good time.
You got that? It's got that Larry the Cable Guy look to it with no sleeves.
or as I say after a few bourbons, carry the label guy.
There you go. Carry the. Hey, somebody carry the label guy in here. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. How was your evening for you, sir? Everything go all right with you last night? Everything good?
Oh man, dude, everything was phenomenal. It's one of those things where it's like we're doing a lot of honeydew stuff. I'm doing a lot of honeydew stuff right now. My mother and father-in-law moved back in with us, so we're just trying to make sure everything is all comfortable and hunky-dory for everybody. And I love my mother and father-in-law, but just getting everything together means extra work.
Yeah,
for me.
Right. oh, exactly, for you. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. Let's see. I spent the evening. Watching the home run derby yesterday. All right. Hats off to Pete Alonso, second time in a row, Mets home run derby champion. So there we go. Great on him. Let's see. And I'm counting the hours now. We got 4 hours and 45 minutes left until the first pitch for the All-Star game tonight.
Well, I haven't even bothered to watch, but so how well attended was the home run derby?
It was in Colorado, and it looked like it was pretty much a sellout.
All right. Well, there you go. Yep. Well,
yep.
There you go, Atlanta.
Yeah.
Thank what's her face. Thank your president right there. You're the president of Atlanta, Stacey Abrams.
That's right. No, she's the president of Georgia. That's right.
I'm sorry of Atlanta, of Georgia. Yeah, the president of Georgia.
Let's not sell her short. Yeah.
All of the money that was made by all of those vendors. Yeah. That should have been yours. You can thank Stacey Abrams.
Should have been yours. I will say a nice touch by everybody there was all of the players, no matter what team they were from, no matter what their name was on the back of their jersey, were all wearing number 44 to honor Hank Aaron, who passed away in January, which would have been an incredible celebration in his hometown of Atlanta. Yep. But no, thank you, Stacey Abrams. So, and thank you, Rob Manfred, the trying to turn this into the Manfred League Baseball rather than Major League Baseball. Yeah, hack. All right.
Well, he's
enough
a tool.
there. Enough,
he's a tool.
He's
a tool. He's a garden tool. That's okay.
He is a tool. He is a garden tool.
Let's get on to the news today.
The news. What do we got here? We got we cut the program a little little short on topics because we were running long. Didn't want to squeeze this one in, but want to talk to you about what's going on in Cuba. For those of you paying attention or not paying attention, help us along, or we want to help you along. And those that are paying attention, hop right in here. We have in Cuba, in the streets of Cuba, we have protests that have been going on for 4 or 5 days now, and it's been, free Cuba, Cuba Libre. They've been trying to get, the government to stop. And Craig, this is one of those where you're looking at it going, does it have the legs? Remember, we are post Fidel Castro now, and his brother Raul there has kind of stepped away from power. So nobody's even really sure who's in charge down there. It's spiraling. We know that socialism and communism don't work. You could just take one look down there and see that they're driving around the streets in 70-year-old technology made with toaster parts to keep them running. No exaggeration whatsoever. They're trying to grasp their stake in the world. The youth is down there. So, it's bad enough that they're 90 miles off the coast of Florida, so they get to watch all the TV shows and hear all the propaganda. Well, listen, for how many years did we have under Obama? We tried to work with them and we gave things to them and it didn't work. 4 years under Trump administration, maybe that tightened the belt a little bit. Don't know. It's been an incredibly long time. I can tell you that. What are we into the 70th year now of their communist rule down there? So, but the people in the streets are now out. And Craig, it kind of reminds me of what we saw from that youth movement during Tiananmen Square back in the early 90s in China. However, I don't believe the Cubans have it in their heart to roll tanks across them and kill all of those people. No. I think that they are so Central and South American and American at heart that we may see something come of this.
I hope so. There are few people, nationalities, and I say nationalities because we're talking about folks who are coming from Cuba, yes, who are more American than Cuban Americans, in large part because the first generation, and now you're dealing with some second, third generation. I mean, they know what communist, socialist oppression looks like, and they recognize it, and they see it, and they recognize that, if it weren't for America, they would have no place to go. And that's why so many of them fight so hard for the values of these United States, because they recognize how important it is. They also recognize what they see in the Democratic Party, which is a resurgence in the belief in those very values that tore their homeland apart. And it's nice to see that they're standing up. It's hard because they have... For example, for them, the access to the internet is very, very difficult. They have like a VPN network that is easily shut off. And in fact, it's one that actually the technology to shut it off was likely given to the Cubans by China. Now, if you want to get any idea of what China thinks about freedom, but once again, it is all about oppression and suppression. The way in which you oppress the people is by suppressing thought ideas that are contrary to those of the government. And you're starting to see people rise up against it. And it's gotten so vocal, so visible, that it's being seen as far away as the Biden White House.
Yeah, it has to now. Listen, it spent over the weekend, surging down there. We had on yesterday, Monday, where we had a lot of our Hispanic politicians or Florida politicians getting involved in this, and finally the Biden White House. Now they've got to formulate a plan on how to respond to this. Well, I mean, listen, I know the first thing they're going to want to do is send money, right? Because that's their initial response to everything. So we'll see what happens down there. We'll see what happens, and we're going to keep our eye on it. To our brethren, 90 miles south of us here in Florida.
Exactly, and I'm hoping that one day soon freedom will ring for the people of Cuba.
Yeah. Again, Cuba Libre. Let's make this happen. Speaking of freedom, let's talk about Afghanistan, huh? What a great free place to be now. We finally had the pullout of U.S. forces there last week. It came out of the major U.S. major air base in Bagram in just north of Kabul, about an hour north of Kabul, there in Afghanistan. Sprawling air base, Craig, huge. I've been there many, many times. It's a monster in size and in infrastructure. And I guess we packed up as much as we could and got to a secret date on the calendar. And when we got to that secret date on the calendar, we just left. I mean, there's everything left there from vehicles to personal guitars and amusement equipment, weight rooms. Everything just is there. And I guess we left in such a haste we forgot to tell the Afghan commander that we were leaving. So many of the locals and perhaps some ne'er-do-wells also came and occupied parts of the base while we were gone. Well, this week, the four-star general there that was in charge of Afghanistan, General Scott Miller, I think his name was Miller, and he left and he came back to the States. He relinquished that command to Central Command over in Tampa, Florida, and MacDill Air Force Base, and now it's there. And Craig, I selected this topic today because I wanted to get your opinion on this whole pull out of Afghanistan. The facts that I can tell you right now is, at this point, over more than half the country is back under Taliban control, and they are just continuing to roll from province to province, taking back over what was theirs pre 9/11.
I got to tell you, there aren't a whole lot of public policy or in particular, or even foreign policy positions that I had where I disagreed with President Trump and I definitely disagree with Biden on a lot of stuff, but they both agreed on the idea of pulling out of Afghanistan. And I will tell you, I kind of subscribe to, as Colin Powell said back in the day, you break it, you buy it, you own it, right?
Yep.
We broke Afghanistan. And the thing is, and here's the thing. It's not even about, nation building. It's not even about being the world police. It's about this. That was a home base for terrorism throughout the world, right? If we are not fighting terrorists in Afghanistan, and we will forever be, they're not going to go away. We're never going to fully control or rule Afghanistan. The good guys I don't know if the good guys will ever be able to fully control it. But as long as we're fighting them there, then we're not fighting them here. And I will just tell you that I happen to believe that as we fully pull out, and that becomes once again a hotbed for terrorism to be funded by all of our enemies, we'll start to see a lot more terrorist attacks. We'll start to see a lot more terrorism start to take place amongst our allies and maybe even here in the United States.
Yeah, Craig. Listen, it's the domino theory, right? Do we want to wait till the dominoes get here and start falling, or we want to start stopping the fall of the dominoes over there? This is I don't know. I'm kind of mixed on this. I spent over a year in that shithole, and it's we worked. Our policies were to appease other nations so we could all share the burden. And I'll tell you that Afghanistan is not a country as much as it is a region. It is made up of tribes. There is Afghan government, which is largely in the cities, outside of the cities. The couple of major, Kandahar, Kabul, Bagram, Herat, Mez, those kind of places. It's largely tribal. I mean, no national borders, no national identity. Craig, I walked from Afghanistan into Iran. There's no border at all. It's just there it is. Same as on the other side in Pakistan.
I'm just surprised you walked anywhere.
Oh, listen, baby, I'm a humping fool. I could walk like you wouldn't believe with a rucksack and a machine gun.
I do believe that. I jest, but I do believe that.
It's the kind of place where, now that we're gone, and I said this 15 years ago, as soon as we leave and stop writing checks, the first guy with a board with a nail in it's going to be in charge in that country, and that's what you've got going on. Yeah. They're swinging it, taking it over, doing what they want all over again. And this is why I brought this up. My question to you, Craig, is should we be out of there? Listen, and I know President Trump said we were pulling out, but we never planned on leaving zero forces there. I could tell you right now, it's 55, 76 years after the end of World War II. Right. We still have troops in Japan. We still have troops in Germany. And those nations are there and strong because we rebuilt them.
Right.
We gave them their forms of government. We
Right.
handed it off to them and then stayed there with our own military bases just to keep an eye on them.
Right. Right. No, I don't believe. I don't believe that we should be pulling out. Once again, I believe they need to be responsible for their own government, but I think
Yes.
we need to be there. There's a reason why, and everyone can disagree out there with me. All of you people who are isolationists, fine. But once again, I believe that there's an important part in being when you're the big guy on the block. There's a certain responsibility that you have, and if nothing else, there's a self-interest to make sure that that people aren't gathering together to do evil against you.
Yeah, exactly. And this is where that evil seems to congregate when they want to plan it and go live in a cave and get ready to attack you. So, and they're doing that again freely. They have been for the past couple of years. So, all the best to everybody I've met and saw in Afghanistan. But listen, I think this will take 2 months before the whole country falls, Craig. Vietnam, we had this same kind of policy. It took 2 years for the North to come down and take over the South. I think Kabul, will be the last to fall, and that might take 2 or 3 months from today. But
Oh
it's going to
yeah,
happen
dude!
soon.
I'm telling you, man. Look, our troops are getting out of there as fast as Democrats are fleeing Texas.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, and how about we got possibly there in Texas? You got running for governor there, former retired Lieutenant Colonel Alan West. So that's going to be fun. So he'll take care of that state for him. All right, Craig, let's roll along here. Texas Dems fleeing that state. Now, the reason for this, Craig, is they have a vote coming up. They have a vote coming up on one of your favorite topics on election rights, new election laws. And this is supposed to take place in the next couple of days here. But the Democrats have decided the way to win, because they can't win because they're outnumbered, but the way to win is to flee the state. That way they cannot call the legislature into session and have a quorum and then have a vote to put these new laws into effect.
It is beyond if Republicans were doing this, man, they would lose their minds. First of all, any way you don't have where it requires a majority in order to have a quorum, I question that state legislature. But anyway, having said that, this is just bad. First of all, none of these laws are discriminatory. None of these laws suppress voters. We've already seen right now that both the Supreme Court and at least one other court uphold laws that are very similar to the ones that they're looking to pass here in the state of Texas. The big issue, quite frankly, with the whole voter rights thing is that several southern states like Texas, like Georgia, had a history 60 years ago of suppressing black votes. Okay, that was 60 years ago, which, my math may be a little off, but equates to about 2 generations ago. They were guilty of suppressing votes. Well, guess what? It's 2 generations have passed now. They should not still be subject to having to get their voter laws approved by Washington, D.C. And when people talk about the Voting Rights Act being overturned and then people pulling away from the Voting Rights Act, that's really all they're talking about, is the fact that free southern states like Alabama, like Missouri, like Texas, like Tennessee, like Alabama, like Louisiana and Texas and Georgia ought to be able to pass their own frigging laws as long as they're in compliance with the U.S. Constitution.
And that's what we're seeing. The last time this happened, they had some gun laws they were about to pass. The governor Abbott said, listen, if the Dems don't want to come, well, what we'll do is we'll suspend their pay and then suspend them from office for malfeasance. So, let them, because if they don't show up, I guess the governor gets to appoint new ones, so, you guys want to flee, go right ahead.
I got my issues with him because, he supported red flag laws. He supported some things that I have issues with, but if he were to do some stuff like that, that would earn back some favor that he had lost with me. I'm just telling Democrats, look, if you're gonna screw with me, I'm gonna screw with you, and that's just how it's gonna go. You want to play dirty, we'll play dirty.
He's got to be on his toes. He needs points right now. He's got, I mean, listen, he's got the likes of Matthew McConaughey and retired Lieutenant Colonel Alan West looking to run for governor there in Texas. So he needs to step up his game. He needs, all right. He needs to step up his game. And that's Matthew McConaughey, by the way.
Come on, man. West. That's Matthew McConaughey. I mean, I'm sorry. Just by nature, the fact that he's Matthew McConaughey really does. I mean, come on. Who wouldn't want to vote for Matthew
Colonel West would say now, steadfast and loyal.
Having said that, having met Colonel Alan West, I will just tell you, there is not a politician that I have met at that level who is as down to earth and real. And by the way, not just when I say down to earth and real, also incredibly sharp and intelligent and academic. I mean, just awesome. A dude is Alan West. I would vote for him hands down, even over Matthew McConaughey.
He's that could be a good ticket too, right? West McConaughey.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Governor and lieutenant governor. There you go.
He's a frequent guest on Arms Room Radio. We've had him on there for years. It's been a couple months since we've had him on, but he's been on with us since the very beginning. Been a great guy. Been a good friend to all of us. And every time we have a little pregame before we come on the show, because before we do an interview, you don't like to bring people in cold. You say, I always ask my guests, so hey, Colonel, what do you want us to hit? Hey, Mike, great to hear from you. It'd be nice if you hit the book. Other than that, hit me whatever you got. Sir, what's off limits? What's off limits? Nothing. Give me whatever you got. And it is. And I'll throw stuff at him as far left and as far right as I can. And he's always got 20 minutes of beautiful dialogue on everything that nails it.
He's
got that kind of brain.
I've had him on a couple of different programs that I've done, and you can't stump him.
No.
You can't. He's anyway, but I think he will be an awesome governor. Here in California, we have what's his name? We have Larry Elder, who's considering running for governor in the recall. And I love Larry Elder. I love his show. But I don't know. I believe he's a better commentator than he would be an elected official.
Right.
The thing about Alan West is somebody who has led. He has led in the military. He has led in elective office. He's led in party office. He's led in so many different ways and areas that he's demonstrated that he knows how to adapt. He knows how to analyze. And he knows how to direct and put together a plan and a path towards success. Yeah. And I think I think he would be great for Texas.
Yep. All right, Craig, let's move right along. Somebody without a great path for success is our friend, I don't know if he's my friend, Stephen A. Smith over at ESPN. He's one of the sports commentators over there. And now, Craig, I used to be a huge ESPN watcher. Just Sports Center was my thing. I couldn't get up and go to work until I heard the do. I had to watch the top 10 every day and see what had happened in sports out on the West Coast, because you guys refused to play sports during regular hours, so we'd have to play catch up in the morning. But then the Major League Baseball channel came along and Sports Center and kind of went away for me. But Stephen A. Smith's still there, been going strong, commentator, and he's got the ability to stick his foot in his mouth every once in a while. He has said some stupid stuff in the past, a bunch of times concerning domestic violence stuff with Ray Rice, with Floyd Mayweather, and there was, Craig, there was one other. Seems like I'm missing one other big thing he stuck his foot in his mouth about recently.
Well, he did get into a big tiff with Joe Rogan. They were doing commentary on MMA, mixed martial arts. Yeah. Yeah. And he basically had made a couple of statements that demonstrated that he was not particularly knowledgeable about mixed martial arts. And I love Stephen A. Smith too. The thing about him is that he's not afraid to say what he thinks, even if what he thinks is wrong, and he will defend it vehemently, even if he is wrong. And he comments on all different types of sports, and I just think that sometimes. And you know this, you're really into baseball, right? If I were to comment on something on baseball, there's a very good chance that I would say something that would be completely and utterly wrong. Because I'm just not I know baseball in general. I don't know the specifics of baseball. And
Yeah.
go ahead.
No, go. I was gonna say, yeah, you're right. I'm just saying, Stephen A. Smith. He, like you said, he's not afraid to say what he thinks, but he's also not afraid to think before he says anything. So,
Right.
he just he's a he'll say some crazy stuff. This week with baseball, he did, and again, we had it's All-Star break time. We've got the home run derby yesterday. Pete Alonso, Mets champion, won that second year in a row, and the All-Star game starting in about 4.5 hours here. So, but he said. Otani, Shohei Otani. He's the Japanese star that plays for the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim in California, I think is the full title of their team. He shouldn't be the face of baseball because he doesn't speak English, and that takes away from the game because he doesn't speak English. And I'm like, the guy's in his first half of a season living in a foreign country. Because he has to talk through a translator or an interpreter. Stephen A. Smith is bagging on the guy.
He's right in this respect.
Oh yeah,
he's right in this respect. Look, if you can't speak English, it's hard for you to sell stuff to Americans.
Yes,
right.
Yeah, right.
And the face of baseball ought to be able to sell stuff to America. So he's right in that respect. But overall, that's one of the things that makes America what it is. It's like, you know what? We got people coming here from all over the country to compete with the best of the best. And he's Japanese. And he wanted to be here to compete with the best of the best. And he don't speak English. And the very fact that he doesn't speak English and he's one of the best, that's kind of, finger in the eye to look, America, get it together, America.
Yeah, but my point being, listen, Stephen A. Smith has got a way of sticking his foot in his mouth. I don't think what he said was that bad. He said the Japanese player doesn't speak English. It would be beneficial to all of us if he spoke English. But let me tell you something. And Stephen A. Smith pointed out. He said Manuel Ginobili and Dirk Nowitzki, when they came over to play basketball, that they spoke English. Well, let me tell you something. L'italiano è facile. Deutsch ist einfach.
Did you just use the F word? Did you just use the F word?
It's actually einfach. Deutsch ist einfach. My pronunciation may not be so great, but that's it. So, wait a second. Hold on. Is Ginobili Italian or he's Spanish? He's Spanish. He's from Argentina. Crap, I thought he was Italian. So el español es fácil, okay? So I want Stephen to know that other languages, European languages and South American and Spanish languages, they're really not that hard for those to come over to America and to learn to speak. It's all from the basic same root language, all right. From Latin. However, Japanese, not so much. I spent time in Japan, all right? All I got from Japan is double arigato, Mr. Roboto. That's all I know. Okay. It's not easy to go from Japanese to English or the other way around.
No, it's not.
But in Europe and in the South America, they teach English as the second language.
Right.
In Japan, it's not Japanese they teach as the second language. It's Korean and Chinese. Right.
Well, the thing is, and this is what I will say, and I said this during the whole debate with Stephen A. and Joe Rogan. I'll just say this: Stephen A. gets these gigs because he creates controversy. Whether he's right in his comments or wrong in his comments, he's very entertaining both in making and defending his comments. And so, in the end, he's doing exactly what ESPN wants him to do, which is getting people to pay attention to what he says, to comment on what he says, and to pay attention to what people's responses to what he says and comment on that. So in the end, Stephen A. Smith is doing exactly what ESPN pays him to do.
Now let me ask you this, Craig, before we move on to our next topic, because I know we got time. We got to be watching the clock.
Yes.
He has made this. I guess we could call this culturally insensitive comment. We'd call it this time. We've had domestic violence comments he's made. We've had the UFC comments that he's made. If Stephen A. Smith is white, does he still have his job?
No, he doesn't.
Okay. So we're all agreed on that. All right. So All right. Well, let's move right along.
His
then
proximity to whiteness is not that close.
Universal Studios. This was in Universal Orlando. Not the one out there in California. This is Universal, and I don't know if we have the picture of this or not. There's a story where
I just realized that I hadn't downloaded it, but I'm looking it up now.
You do that while I do the speaking.
There
So
you
we'll
go.
do that. You do the producing, I'll do the speaking. There was I forget the character's name. The old man from with the minions.
Despicable Me.
Yeah, Despicable Me. Right. He's a character there at Universal, and I guess some kids come over to get pictures with him. Well, evidently, sometime twice within the past 2 years, there may have been pictures with him and a biracial child. That's how the story reads: a biracial child, where the character made the white power symbol with his hand. And now, I guess one of these families, had this picture for a while before somebody pointed out to them that the character had made the alleged white power symbol, and now they feel so oppressed and hurt that they need $40,000 from maybe $30 or $40,000 from Universal to make the pain go away.
Okay, Mikey, here we have the picture right here.
All right, let's take a look at the picture.
There it goes. There it is, right there.
So you could see the character's the left hand there. It has what appears to be a holding like an OK symbol.
Right.
Now, listen, don't you need 3 fingers to make a W on the other hand? And
I think you do. I think you do.
He only has 2, so is he making the UP symbol or the WP symbol? I don't. So maybe he's trying to help the other guy from the meatballs with the up symbol. He's trying to help them to go up. Listen, that's Listen, if anybody's ever worn a hand or a costume like this, that's probably the shape the hand's in, to begin with. Second of all, why the hell are we being so damn uptight about a character making an OK symbol? He's not out there flashing white power. He's not out there doing a Nazi salute. This is some kid that makes $15 an hour, Orlando, to wear this stupid costume, and he's only allowed to do it for 15 minutes an hour, or he passes out and dies in there. This is something that again happened twice, and of course Universal fired him. Probably didn't even tell him why they fired him, or they just said they fired him.
They lied because look, that actor is so recognizable. How could you miss him, right?
This is just ridiculous, Craig. We did this, and I'm sure there's pictures of me out there making that symbol, holding it below my waist, because where I'm from, if I get you to look at me making the OK symbol below my waist, I get to punch you in the arm, okay? I get to punch you as hard as I can because I made you look. That's what it is, made you look. I didn't even know this was white power until this started coming up as some sort of white power conspiracy. Yeah, the white power conspiracy has infiltrated the character realm of Universal Studios. That's what's happened.
Dude, I will tell you, because I've done so many, whether it's blog posts about this stuff, it is just literally the height of idiocy. Because, in the end, this is a symbol that, okay, so you have Bloods, the gangs, they use this as one of their symbol.
Do they?
It's also the OK symbol. Predominantly black fraternity that I am a member of, Kappa Alpha Psi. That is a symbol. That is a sign that we use. It is just there's the what do they call that game? The game, the game you were talking about, right? Where if someone looks at it, right, then if someone looks at it, then they have to, they get punched in the arm. I mean, there are so many different aspects to this, and it's just, you get to a point where you're like, ultimately what it comes down to is people believe that's what it means, so then therefore that's what it means. And here's the thing, is that it doesn't really matter if people are stupid, because they are. And they're stupid. Oh, I'm sorry, did I just do that? Did I just do that?
Wait, you're doing the upside down white power.
Oh my God, it's upside down white power. What was I thinking? I must be a secret white supremacist. I mean, that's the sort of idiocy that we deal with nowadays, dude. I'm beyond. It is There are so many real things. I'm sorry. There's so many real things that we need to be dealing with. Why are we dealing with this? Why is this a thing?
Because I like to point out of the idiots out there, and the point of this story here, and before we move on to talk about our sponsors, is that these people didn't even know what it was, and they had to be told what it was. And then once they were told what it was, they felt $30,000 worth of offended, and the money is going to make their pain go away. So that's how ridiculous this is. Speaking of
well, now
money,
that you mentioned the money, now it makes sense. It may not be right, but now it makes sense.
Well, that's it. That's it. They feel $30,000 worth of offended, so Universal can make that go away with a check. All right, let's talk about our sponsors, Gorilla Machining. Thank you very much to Gorilla Machining. Saw the guys today there at Gorilla Machining. Great bunch of people. They have a lower receiver kit, lower parts kit here from America's Rifle that they're going to be giving away on Feedback Friday. Along with that is a nice T-shirt and a nice bag here. It's much like this T-shirt back over here over my shoulder. You're going to get to see that. It's in there for you. I don't know the size. It's not written on the outside. I've been told I should not be opening the bags and looking at the T-shirt sizes, so I'm not going to do that.
Mike's just going to make you lose weight. So if it's not your size, you're just going to have to lose weight to fit it.
That's it. That's it. This one feels like an extra medium, though. When I hold the bag, it feels like it's about an extra medium. So you might want to.
That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
It's how it works. It's how it works here. It's the laws of the bourbon room. Okay,
extra medium, really? It's
an extra medium. It feels like an extra medium. It feels like an extra medium. All right, so Feedback Friday. Check us out, Feedback Friday. We'll be on live at 3 p.m. on Friday. Remember, we're 3 p.m. now. 3 p.m. on Friday with the feedback. We're live every day, but we'll have the feedback portion going. There will be a quiz. So we're going to be asking people quiz questions, and I think whoever gets the quiz questions right will be the winner this week on Feedback Friday. Craig, let's move right along into our parting shot here, so the folks can get on to the rest of their day.
There we go, Mikey.
All right, this is from the mayor of Chicago. Back a year ago, she said, under no circumstances will she allow Donald Trump's troops to come to Chicago and terrorize the residents. Remember, this was after a record number of shootings there in the city of Chicago. Well, when it happened again this past July 4th weekend, she reached out to reached out to President Biden and asked for help during the bloody July 4th weekend. Now, Craig, this is she's one of your favorites, Mayor Lori Lightfoot there.
Look, Lori Lightfoot is a joke, is an absolute joke as a mayor and as a mayor, as an elected official. It is amazing. Why are you holding up fingers?
You send her name once. Don't say it 3 times. Because if you say her name 3 times,
Mike. Mike, look, you keep saying
you say her name 3 times, she'll appear.
No, you keep saying that. I'm tired of your Southern superstitions. All right, look, that does not happen. Okay, it will not happen. All right.
Yep.
Look, watch. Lori Lightfoot.
No, don't do
Lori
it.
Lightfoot.
Don't.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. All right. Fine. I believe you.
You can't do it. She's the rules of Beetlejuice. Okay, look at her. She's Michael Keaton never looked that bad. Just so you know.
Oh my lord. How do we get rid of her? This is not good.
Switch it back.
This is not good. This is not good. The Spirit of Christ repels you. The Spirit of Christ repels you. Okay, she's gone. Okay. But But Mike, the whole point behind that is, and you make an excellent point. It's when Trump was president. I mean, if you looked at in cities where there were issues and where there were problems, when Donald Trump sent in troops, well, guess what? Those cities, all of a sudden, there was no more rioting, there was no more looting, there was no more problems in the streets. In cities where they didn't, like, I don't know, Seattle, Minneapolis, Portland, those cities right now look like bombed out third world countries, right? They are no longer the people, the government of those cities no longer control those streets. And once again, the only reason that they wouldn't do it was because they didn't want Donald Trump. They didn't want Donald Trump to get any credit for, for the troops coming in
helping,
and helping.
And let's be clear, when we say Donald Trump and his troops, military troops did not go.
Right.
Agencies like FEMA went, the FBI went with their crime lab, the ATF went with their crime lab, and their individuals that could help track these things down. They brought additional assets, manpower, and funding that could help stop these problems, and that's what happened. Just to give old Mayor Lori Lightfoot, I only said it once. A little more
you only
credit
said it once correctly.
Yeah, true. What she's had there so far, July to date, and what is today, the 13th? So far in Chicago, July to date, shot and killed 46, shot and wounded 200, total shot 246, 50 total homicides in the city of Chicago just in the past 13 days in July. So thank you to her for her great policies.
I got to ask, if Donald Trump were the mayor of Chicago, what do you think those numbers would be if he had been the mayor of Chicago all year?
If Donald Trump had been the mayor of Chicago, well, there might have been 246 broken legs, but we had people paying attention to the rules.
They would all be criminals.
Yep. Absolutely. So
they definitely all would have deserved it.
Listen, he's a businessman, but he is a businessman from New York. Okay, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah. Hey,
Forget about it.
I'm not even doing that. I don't want my legs broken.
All right, folks. Well, hey, that's going to be it for this edition of the Roundup. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. Let us know what you think about the new time that we're doing the show. If you think a little later works better, a little earlier works better. But here's the thing, folks. Ultimately, we're following the numbers, and we're looking at who's watching and when they're watching. So if we can find a time that works better in order to get you guys to watch live, that's when we're going to do it. So let us know what your opinion, and then we'll take it from there.
Did you say let it snow? Did you say let it snow?
I did not say let it snow.
I thought you said let it snow.
Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
In July. That'd be nice, right? Yeah, in July. Only snows in July in Miami. All right. So like, share, subscribe, and we will see you tomorrow on Hump Day.
Hump Day.